Welcome to the Zaid podcast, where ideas meet reality and truth meets transformation. I'm Zulfah, and today we're going to talk about a currency more powerful than money, more immediate than followers, and more fragile than fame: reputation. You and I live in a world where a single review can make or break an opportunity, where a 5-star rating isn't just feedback, it's identity. But what happens when trust itself becomes a product? When likes evolve into value and credibility turns quantifiable? Welcome to the reputation economy, where ratings, reviews, and algorithms are redefining what it means to be humanly trusted. The shift from social proof to digital power. Let's start with something you already sense but rarely think deeply about. In this new economy, reputation is not symbolic, it's structural. In 2025, reputation drives real financial outcomes. According to recent research, over 96% of S&P, Standard & Poor's, 500 companies now generate measurable returns from their reputations, creating a combined $13.8 trillion in value globally. In other words, reputation isn't marketing anymore, it's market share. This is the shift we're witnessing. Reputation has evolved from a story you tell to a system that judges you. From personal branding to professional trust, every click, rating, and review quietly writes your credibility score. Trust is now a technology. When I say that reputation has become an economy, I don't mean metaphorically, I mean literally. Algorithms assign trust. AI platforms summarize who you are. And answer engines tell others if you're credible enough. Platforms like Google and Meta are no longer just carriers of content. They are curators of trust. In this digital landscape, ratings and reviews are more than opinions. They're the architecture of influence. For every student, professional, creator, or business, the question is no longer what do I offer, but how am I perceived? Students, the silent reputation builders. Let's talk to the students first. You grind through exams, projects, and internships, but online, none of that effort counts unless it's visible. You live in a paradox where your GPA matters less than your Google results. In this reputation economy, your credibility begins with witnessed effort. Every testimonial, portfolio project, or streak you publish adds to your digital trust ledger. Imagine academic ratings that reflect punctuality, collaboration, and learning streaks, the kind that Zeta Zika Network makes possible. Here's the reality. In the coming years, qualifications will get you interviews, but verified learning streaks will land you mentorships. The world trusts those who show consistency, not just competence. Professionals. The era of transparent merit. Now let's turn to the professionals. Every corporate executive in 2025 already understands what most individuals still ignore. Reputation isn't words, it's data. Your efficiency, client testimonials, and peer ratings collectively define your professional trust index. The 2025 Echo Global Reputation Report revealed something profound. Reputation momentum, essentially, how quickly trust builds or erodes, is now a measurable asset. And it changes market value in days, not quarters. What this means for you is simple. Your digital reputation moves faster than your resume. The most employable people in this decade won't be those with perfect LinkedIn headlines, but those whose name equals results. Creators. The fragile fame paradox. Creators are caught in the sharpest edge of this transformation. The digital creator's reputation is simultaneously their product and their liability. One viral misstep can collapse months of effort. Today, a single fake review, an AI-generated summary gone wrong, or one misinterpreted clip can define your credibility before you even respond. But here's the paradox. You gain authority not by avoiding vulnerability, but by curating authentic transparency. Audiences now trust creators who admit errors, engage honestly, and create with purpose. Your creative equity doesn't depend on perfection. It thrives on perceived integrity. The shift is clear. Fame is accidental. Reputation is intentional. Businesses. Reputation as capital. For businesses, reputation has moved from being soft power to financial capital. Business reputation today isn't just what people say. It's what algorithms verify. AI search engines now calculate reputation health using data from news, social media, and verified reviews. This is why brand trust has become as tangible as revenue. The 2025 Reputation Economy report from Karma showed that media visibility and consumer sentiment directly influence financial outcomes. Every mention, review, or sentiment tag builds or drains digital equity. The old PR model, where silence and spin worked, is officially dead. You can't hide reputation anymore. You can only honor it. That's why businesses now compete less on price and more on perceived integrity. When trust becomes data, transparency becomes survival. The dark side of ratings, but let's not romanticize all this. Reputation can also destroy. A false review can ruin a career. Algorithmic bias can mislabel a creator. Reputation can now become a weapon, used not for truth but for digital punishment. A 2024 Frontiers in Communication study found that even the perception of fake reviews can reduce trust so drastically that it harms overall user experience. Trust doesn't erode gradually anymore. It collapses suddenly, like a digital credit crash. That's why platforms like Zeta's rating system must evolve differently, not to rank, but to reflect truth. Verified reviews, peer validation, and sentiment analysis anchored in authenticity are the new insurance policies for your digital self. The psychology of visibility. Let's zoom in deeper. Why do ratings rule our self-worth so quickly? It's psychological conditioning. Neural studies confirm that likes, stars, and ratings activate the same dopamine centers as financial rewards. Ratings literally feel like money. And in this new economy, we've started building our self-image around public metrics. But here's the part that should make all of us pause. When you hand your self-worth to algorithms, you give away your autonomy. Trust becomes externalized. Growth becomes performative. So the real challenge for you and me isn't just how to manage our ratings. It's how to remain authentically valuable in a system that measures everything. Ground reality. Student struggles and system flaws. Let's return to the ground problems, the ones you as students and fresh professionals actually live through. You're entering a market that preaches opportunity, but practices judgment. You don't just need skills, you need a visible trust trail. Yet, ironically, most institutions still assess you with outdated grading systems, while employers scroll your online presence first. This is where the disconnect lies. The education system builds capability, but the reputation system demands proof. Students feel unseen, not because they lack potential, but because they lack digital validation. At Zaid, this gap becomes our mission, to let effort speak, not status. Imagine if your 30-day learning streak, verified collaboration, or peer-reviewed project became part of your official digital reputation profile. That's how we delink talent from privilege. That's how society moves from static resumes to dynamic reputations. The future of trust, AI ratings, and human values. Now let's talk about the future, the part that's both exciting and terrifying. By 2027, predictive AI systems will generate trust scores automatically from your content footprint, tone, review patterns, and network authenticity. This could either liberate us or enslave us. If reputation becomes computed instead of earned, humanity risks trading fairness for efficiency. That's why the next battle isn't over fame. It's over credibility governance. We have to demand ethical algorithms, transparent scoring systems, and digital rights that protect our ability to rebuild reputation after mistakes. Because as of now, your online credibility is public currency, and no one teaches you how to protect it. The reputation mindset. How to build real influence. So how do we survive, no, thrive, in this new reputation economy? Not by chasing reputation, but by earning reliability. Here are some truths I've learned. Authentic consistency beats curated perfection. Transparency builds longevity faster than popularity. Peer validation outweighs platform verification. Data without humanity loses meaning. In short, the new measure of influence isn't metrics, it's trust equity. Influence is no longer how many people know you. It's how many people believe you. The Zaid shift, redefining trust through ratings. This is why Zeta's approach matters now more than ever. Our ecosystem is designed not to rate people superficially, but to measure growth, reliability, and ethical contribution. It bridges digital reputation with meaningful validation for students, professionals, creators, and businesses alike. Imagine a digital identity where street consistency reflects discipline, verified client testimonials shape professional visibility, and authentic collaborations create social capital. This is not the future, it's already happening. The reputation economy is alive, and Zaid is where it evolves consciously. In this episode, I want you to walk away with one revelation. Reputation is no longer what they say. It's what you sustain. You can't buy it, fake it, or outsource it. You build it, micro-action by micro-action, conversation by conversation, project by project. So before you post again, sell again, or scroll again, ask yourself, am I building trust or just visibility? Because in the new reputation economy, influence is fleeting, but integrity compounds. This is Zulfah, and you've been listening to the Zaid podcast, powered by Zaid.com, where your digital identity becomes limitless and your reputation becomes your real currency.